Close your eyes for a second and let the sound of that bouncing basketball echo in your soul. Can you feel the tremor building in the Bay Area? If you thought life under the Golden Gate was all sunshine and splash, brace yourself because Dub Nation is on the brink of a bombshell that could redefine everything you thought you knew about our Dynasty's next chapter. Picture this: the ink barely dry on the playoffs' final buzzer, and already the front office, ever the alchemists of championship gold, have maneuvered behind closed doors to clinch a deal that brings Lonzo Ball storming into Chase Center's hallowed halls. Yes, you heard it right, Lonzo Ball. The Chicago guard once faded as a generational playmaker before injuries and inconsistency dimmed his star in L.A., is now confirmed to don the blue and gold. So smash that like button, like it's a chasing defense you're blowing by. Subscribe to Warriors News Fan Report to lock in every exclusive wrinkle of this seismic shift. And ring that notification bell with the ferocity of a corner three from Curry himself, because this is the kind of upheaval that demands your unblinking obsession. It all started when whispers of a three-team dance Warriors, Bulls, Hornets surfaced online, stirring rumors of a sign-in trade for Jonathan Kuminga that would excavate draft capital and young prospects from Charlotte, only to deliver us Lonzo's fresh legs, floor-spanning vision, and lockdown perimeter defense. Then the bomb dropped. Sources with direct ties to the Bulls front office leaked confirmation that Lonzo, once the No. 2 overall pick, had agreed to the deal, his future unmoored from the Windy City's roster, and now firmly anchored in a franchise dripping with championship pedigree. Think about the journey that led Lonzo here drafted amid the Lakers' Hollywood spectacle, thrust into the unforgiving glare of Staples Center late-night games, lauded for court vision that illuminated passing lanes like beacons of hope, only to be felled by nagging ankle sprains and shoulder injuries that shelved him for stretches so long they felt like lifetimes. This is the same Lonzo Ball whose name once reverberated like a promise on draft night, whose Rookie of the Year whispers were drowned out by shooting woes that saw him hover below 35% from deep and endure the harsh spotlight of critics, who wondered if a lack of scorer's touch would always overshadow his celestial playmaking. But let me tell you, Dub Nation, what you're getting in Lonzo is not a washed-up spark, but a phoenix primed to rise. A facilitator extraordinaire whose 7.0 assists per game in Chicago's system showcased a gravity-defying ability to make teammates better and a defensive IQ that knifes through passing lanes with uncanny anticipation. This is the bombshell twist you never saw coming. Golden State, in its unrelenting quest to surround Steph Curry with complementary maestros, has added a floor general whose pedigree for playmaking and perimeter defense could morph our backcourt into one of the most fearsome elixirs in NBA history. And oh, the emotional memories that flood back. Remember those breathless nights in Oracle, when Steph's elbow in the net three sparked riotous chants of MVP. Now imagine Lonzo's inbound passes racing to Wiggins in transition. Imagine Curry carving defenders on drives while Lonzo pings corner threes to a waiting pool. Imagine a defense that rotates with the precision of a Swiss watch under Lonzo's stifling on-ball presence. This isn't mere roster tinkering. It's an upheaval that detonates the old blueprint and erects a new paradigm of pace and space, of juggernaut gravity befriended by cerebral orchestration. But hold on, because here comes the second twist, the cliffhanger that will have every beat of your heart pounding like a buzzer beater. Despite securing Lonzo's signature, the Warriors have deliberately shrouded the deal's final contours in mystery, dangling rumors of additional sweeteners, maybe a future first-round pick, maybe a young prospect with untapped upside meant to seal the loyalty of a player who's battled injuries like a warrior and whose presence could finally answer the fervent prayers for a true secondary playmaker beside Curry. Sources hint that the front office is weighing Lonzo's health history, his 188 games since 2019, shadowed by ankle and knee setbacks, against the almost mythical fit he presents in Steve Kerr's motion offense. Some insiders whisper that the medical team is pushing for a load management blueprint tailored specifically to Lonzo, ensuring he's fresh for every playoff skirmish. where his defensive rotations and bullet-quick outlet passes could turn every rebound into a breakaway dunk. And the buzz in the locker room? It's electric. Veteran leaders like Draymond Green are reportedly ecstatic, visioning a backcourt defensive tandem that can sap opponents' energy before the game even heats up. Mo Poole, already flourishing as a fearless scorer, is said to be champing at the bit for Lonzo's assists, dreaming of late-night alley-oop sessions. Even the rookies are awestruck, envisioning themselves learning the art of passing from a man whose court vision was once compared to Chris Paul's. Now, as the dust settles and the reality dawns that Lonzo Ball is wearing that iconic Warriors crest, the question reverberating across every Bay Area bar, every apartment balcony, every late-night group text is this: will this audacious move ignite a fresh dynasty, or will the echoes of Kuminga's untapped potential linger in the shadows of what might have been? Personally, as your lead scriptwriter and a diehard Dub Nation believer who's reveled in every splash, every stop, every magical moment this franchise has conjured, I believe that Lonzo Ball's arrival is the single spark our roster needed, an infusion of defensive tenacity and creative intuition that could propel us back to the mountaintop. But that's just my take. I need to hear yours. So drop your raw, unfiltered reactions in the comments. Hit that like button so hard it rattles the rafters, and stay glued to Warriors News Fan Report, because the real story, our journey to another banner, has only just begun. If your heart just skipped a beat imagining Steph weaving through hardened defenses in a late-night duel, lighting up the scoreboard with one of those gravity-defying step-backs that shape legends, then slam your wildest takes into the comments, because what we're watching right now isn't just another chapter in the story of the Warriors. It's a seismic upheaval ripping through the very soul of Dub Nation. Picture this: Kevin Durant's veto isn't a simple footnote. It's a thunderclap echoing through every hardwood arena, a challenge flung at the heart of Steve Kerr's championship formula, demanding reinvention or collapse. What if that standoff between KD's hunger for ISO freedom and Kerr's symphonic motion, offense, becomes the spark that ignites a league-wide revolution in coaching philosophies, where ball movement doctrines collide with superstar-centric hierarchies? Imagine rival coaches furiously scribbling notes in the locker room, wondering if they too must choose control the playbook or yield to the game's mercurial maestros. Now, let's dig deeper. Steph Curry, the architect of an offense that morphed from underdog novelty into modern archetype, is still raining threes at an otherworldly clip, over 40% from beyond the arc, even as defenses throw double teams and chase him off the line. But can the baby-faced assassin shoulder the weight of a post-KD world alone? He's not just a shooter. He's the spiritual heartbeat, the living testament to resilience. Remember that ankle-breaking shimmy against the Nuggets in 19 that felt less like a basket and more like a defibrillator shock to our collective soul? Yet without Durant's silky gravity pulling defenses outward, those same step-backs could look different, more contested, more desperate, more emblematic of a squad fighting to salvage identity. Meanwhile, Draymond Green's fiery passion burns hotter than ever. He's averaging near triple-double numbers, around 7 rebounds, 8 assists, and fiery deflections per game, a stat line that only scratches the surface of his impact. But with KD gone, could his volatile leadership morph from cohesive glue into combustible tinder? Fans still recall his playoff tirade against Jokic, the storm eye that signaled both brilliance and brinkmanship. Now, picture Draymond pacing the sidelines, barking orders without that unspoken trust between him, and KD, a partnership that once balanced raw emotion with clinical execution. Will his intensity galvanize a new core, or will it tip into chaos without the tempering presence of Durant's icy confidence? Let's widen the lens. Andrew Wiggins, that oft-debated wingman, has flashed glimpses of his 2022 Finals swagger, averaging near 19 points and delivering clutch defensive stops that remind us he's far from the forgotten heir of Steven Jackson's scrappiest instincts. But Wiggins thrives in a system where roles are sacred: catch, shoot, defend. With Durant's exodus stirring the pot, could Wiggins be asked to don a bigger hat, to morph into secondary creator? And what about the budding phenoms Jonathan Kuminga and Brandon Podziemski? Kuminga's explosive putback jams and 6'10" frame hint at a future all-star, but contradictions linger. Too raw defensively, too streaky offensively. Podziemski's rookie flashes corner triples. Crafty drives offer glimpses of a new vector for the offense. But can Kerr nurture him into a consistent weapon when the margin for error has evaporated? Beyond the court, a chessboard of cap. Ramifications and front office gambits spins beneath the surface. Warriors brass emboldened by their past dynasty and stung by missed reunions, now whispers of a shocking swing trade. What if they target a shot creation guard hungry to prove himself? Someone like Drew Holiday, or a rising star willing to embrace the community ethos of San Francisco. Or perhaps they roll the dice on a creative luxury tax maneuver, signing a veteran stretch four to fill floor spacing voids, then packaging him with a mid-first round pick for an all-NBA wing. Each whisper sets Twitter ablaze. Some fans chant, "Keep the culture intact." Others demand, "Rip off the Band-Aid, reload the roster, show me the fearless fray." Across the bay, Oracle echoes with the ghosts of those "we believe" underdog chants, reminding us that this franchise has reinvented itself before, from Baron Davis's improbable 2007 run to the Splash Brothers' ocean of triples. But as you feel the electricity of Curry's deep-range bombs, ask yourself, can a dynasty truly be reborn on nostalgia alone? Or must it be reforged in the crucible of modern basketball's brutal athleticism and instant offense trends? In an era where Luka's home run passes, Jokic's gravity-shifting visions, and Giannis's feral drives dominate highlight reels, the old blueprint risks obsolescence. Steph's shift offense mastery must now coexist with pick-and-roll versatility, rim-running bigs, and the relentless pace of younger rosters. And so, here we stand at the precipice, a franchise that once operated like a well-oiled symphony, now forced to remix its DNA. Will Kerr, the Zen master turned magician, conjure a new alchemy melding read and react fluidity with ISO creators and positionless versatility? Or will he double down on his gospel, praying that Curry's gravity and Green's fire can compensate for the missing link? Could the next chapter see the Warriors adopt ultra-small lineups, unleashing the sub-26 crowd of Kuminga, Moody, and Wiseman in a never-ending run-and-gun carnival? Or will prudence demand a veteran presence, an all-defensive forward, or 3-and-D assassin to anchor the chaos? Yet the real question echoes beyond strategy. What do we, the fans, demand from a team that once redefined modern basketball? Do we cling to the mythic nostalgia of 1,000 threes and 4 rings? Or do we embrace the thrilling uncertainty of experiment and evolution? Because if this rupture is indeed the forge of a new dynasty, then every made shot and every blown coverage becomes a stanza in a fresh legend. We will remember this as the moment dub nation shrugged off the comfort of past glory and dared to sculpt something unprecedented, a symphony of unproven youth, veteran sparks, and unwavering belief. As the trade deadline looms like a thundercloud, every heartbeat in Chase Center and every bar on Telegraph Avenue pulses with the same question. Will the Warriors strike with the audacity of 2015 Splash Revolution? Or will they hesitate at destiny's edge, leaving potential greatness to drift into what-ifs? Imagine the post-trade buzz, highlight reels of Curry and new comrades carving out pick-and-roll art, locker rooms humming with fresh camaraderie, and social feeds drowning in declarations like Golden State 2.0 is born. But also picture the opposite, disjointed rotations, misfiring offenses, and the gnawing regret of trading away assets that could have blossomed into the next core. Rumors swirl that in strategy sessions across Mission Street, Kerr's staff is drafting micro-lineup experiments, teasing at the idea of a 5-guard lineup featuring Curry, Poole, Lonzo, Kuminga, and Moody, just to keep opponents guessing. Meanwhile, the bench chatter grows deafening. Dellavedova's veteran leadership versus the promise of a rookie like Brandon. Jamie Green's bruising grit against hypothetical slugger sign-in trade candidates. The front office's phone. Logs must be smoking, with calls to execs in Milwaukee. Milwaukee's execs in Miami. Miami's execs in Philadelphia each pitch of a multi-team deal that could send us block star wings or stretch bigs. The soap opera extends to ownership, where Joe Lacob's ambitious grin is said to be matched only by his restless eye for leverage, dreaming of arenas selling out on the next blockbuster announcement. And the fans? They're already drafting. Banners in their basements and hoodies that read Forever Warriors, even as they sharpen their knives to dissect every last rumble of trade chatter. Personally, as someone who screamed for Barron in '07, wept with Clay in '22, and still believes Steph has another miracle in him, I'm staking my belief on this. The coming days aren't just about moves on a spreadsheet. They're about the raw electricity that binds us, a unity forged in buzzer beaters, shaped by adversity and propelled by the unquenchable hope that our next breath on the court could be the one that defines a new era. Now it's your turn. Tell me what you're feeling in the comments. No filters. I'll be in there with you. Every take counts.